He thought he was only searching for stability, a routine, someone dependable enough to help him raise his sons after life had taken a sharp and unforgiving turn. Love was the last thing on his list, because love, in his experience, was fragile. Love had already failed him once. What he didn't know was that sometimes the heart finds what it needs long before the mind is ready to accept it. He became a father earlier than planned, and then a single father sooner than he ever imagined. His wife's absence left a silence in the house that no amount of toys, cartoons, or bedtime stories could fill. Mornings were rushed, evenings exhausting, and nights often lonely. He loved his sons fiercely, but love alone didn't make life easier. There were school lunches to prepare, scraped knees to kiss, homework to supervise, and emotional questions he didn't always know how to answer. He wasn't looking for romance. He was looking for help. He told himself he needed someone practical, someone patient, someone who could bring order where chaos ruled. A mother figure for his boys. That was how he justified opening his life to the possibility of another woman. Not for himself, he claimed, but for them. He wanted his sons to grow up with warmth, guidance, and a sense of completeness he feared he could never give on his own. When she first entered his life, there was nothing cinematic about it. No dramatic music, no slow-motion glances. She was simple, grounded, and real. She spoke calmly, listened carefully, and carried herself with a quiet confidence that immediately put his children at ease. That alone impressed him. His sons, usually guarded around strangers, warmed to her faster than he expected. They laughed around her. They talked. They relaxed. And that scared him more than it comforted him. He told himself not to overthink it. Children like kind people. That didn't mean anything. But as days turned into weeks, he noticed the little things. She remembered their favorite snacks. She knelt down to their eye level when she spoke. She corrected them gently, never raising her voice, never making them feel small. She didn't try to replace anyone. She simply showed up. At night, after the boys were asleep, he found himself thinking about her. Not in the way he had once thought about love, but with curiosity, respect, gratitude. He felt lighter when she was around, calmer, more capable. The house didn't feel as empty anymore, and that terrified him. He had built emotional walls so high that even he forgot what was behind them. Opening his heart again felt like tempting fate. What if it ended the same way? What if his sons grew attached and then lost another mother figure? The risk felt unbearable. So he tried to keep things distant, controlled, defined by rules and boundaries. But love doesn't ask for permission. One evening, he came home later than usual, drained from work and overwhelmed by responsibility. The house was quiet, but not empty. Dinner was warm. The boys were asleep, their homework done, their clothes folded neatly. She sat at the table, waiting, not for praise, not for approval, but simply because she cared. In that moment, something shifted inside him. He realized this wasn't just help. This was partnership. This was presence. This was love quietly proving itself without demanding recognition. He began to see her differently, not as someone filling a role, but as someone choosing them every single day. She didn't have to stay. She wasn't obligated by blood or history. Yet she showed up with consistency that felt stronger than obligation. That kind of commitment is rare, and once you recognize it, you can't unsee it. His sons noticed the change before he did. They smiled more. They slept better. They argued less. They felt safe. One night, one of them asked a simple question that shattered his remaining defenses. Is she going to stay? There was no fear in the question, only hope. And that was when he understood that his heart wasn't the only one at stake anymore. He started letting himself feel. Small things at first. Shared laughter. Longer conversations. Comfortable silences. He realized how much he missed being seen, not as a provider or protector, but as a man. She saw his exhaustion and didn't judge it. She saw his flaws and didn't try to fix him. She accepted him as he was, while somehow making him want to be better. Love didn't arrive like a storm. It arrived like a sunrise. Quiet, steady, undeniable. The moment he admitted it to himself was not dramatic. There were no grand gestures. Just a deep, overwhelming realization that life with her felt right. Not perfect, but real. And real was better than perfect had ever been. He hadn't gone looking for the love of his life. He had gone looking for stability for his sons. But life, in its strange wisdom, gave him both. She became their safe place and his home. Not because she tried to replace what was lost, but because she built something new with patience, respect, and genuine care. What makes this story powerful is not romance alone, but growth. It's about a man who learned that vulnerability is not weakness, that love doesn't always come wrapped in fireworks, and that sometimes the greatest blessings enter your life quietly, through responsibility rather than desire. He learned that love can be chosen daily, built slowly, and strengthened through shared struggles. He learned that his sons didn't just need a mother figure. They needed an example of healthy love. And by loving her, he gave them that example. In a world obsessed with instant attraction and dramatic passion, this story reminds us that real love often begins with service, understanding, and trust. It begins when two people decide to show up for each other, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Today his house is still loud, still messy, still full of challenges. But it's also full of laughter, warmth, and connection. The silence that once haunted him has been replaced by shared moments that feel like healing. He no longer measures love by intensity, but by consistency, by presence, by peace. This is not just a love story. It's a reminder that broken beginnings can lead to beautiful endings, and that sometimes the love you weren't searching for becomes the love you can't live without. If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you believe in love that grows through responsibility and patience, then you're in the right place. Our channel is dedicated to stories that touch the heart, stories that remind us of the beauty hidden in everyday life, and stories that prove hope is never lost. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because every subscription helps us bring more meaningful stories like this to you. Stay with us, grow with us, and let's continue celebrating love, resilience, and the human spirit together.